want to talk to you. Anybody thinking about leaving here is going to find my left foot square up their ass. Do you understand it?
Why?
Shut up, you junkie whore! I'm talking to you. And those two bitches that left, they better learn to sell pussy in Iceland, because if I ever see them again, I'm going to cut their fucking throats.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. Me host Leroy, aka the Big Dipper, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Tony Tasty Tits.
There we go. Damn it, you know what? I was actually gonna go with Sugar Nipples. Only because I saw your post, but that's for next week. Yeah, and we're back with another episode. And yeah, honestly, this was a slow week. This is all the fifth week of any month is always slow for us because nothing happens. They just don't care about the fifth week. So even when we can't really talk about comics because they just dump just shit in there, we don't even care. But something else happened this week that actually filled up our show that we normally hate for it to happen, but it happened because like everybody died for some reason.
A lot of people did, yeah. A lot of
like left and right. I'm like, man, what is going on? At first, we like, okay, we're gonna talk about these people. Let's go. Then, boom, today it was like bodies were just dropping everywhere. Like, man, what is going on? You know, share out the link. Cool.
Yeah,
I recognize the sound live. Cool. Yeah. So let's just get this ball rolling because we actually got a whole lot of show. Hold up. Let's go to the calls. See who we got. Allie
OMG.
Mustar.
Welcome,
yeah.
Welcome, Allie.
Yeah, it happened. So yeah, we're just gonna get the ball rolling as a start over. So Eli, I'm gonna let you go first. I feel like this is more. I'm not gonna say your wheelhouse, but I feel like you would know more about him than I would.
Who we
first on the list? Like I said, we got a list. So we got a wall.
List.
Yeah, we got a memorial wall. Here's like Endgame, like Infinity War when Thanos came through. So yeah, let's just start with it. So first off, we're gonna say rest in peace to Paul Sorvino. Eli, I know you got more info about him than I do. I know him, but I don't know him like that.
Well, yeah, he was a character actor who played in a lot of stuff. Most notably, Goodfellas. He played Paulie.
Another Goodfellas actor just passed.
Yes, we just had Ray Liotta, who played Henry Hill in the movie. He passed not too long ago. Now we have Paul Sorvino passing. He played in a lot of mobster movies. He was a character actor. He played cops and robbers. He played in the Dick Tracy movie. If everybody remembers the Dick Tracy movie.
Who did he play? I'm trying to remember. I remember him, but he had like a ton of makeup on him.
Yeah,
Lips
well, they
Manless.
all did. Something like
Manless.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his name, Lips Manless. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. I don't. The Dick Tracy movie didn't do much for me, so I don't remember.
Here's the thing: it may not have done much for you, but it is the first comic book movie to win an Oscar.
That is true.
Real cinema. Even though the movie fucking sucked, but it's real cinema. You know?
He was in The Rocketeer, another comic book movie that nobody remembers.
Well, he was the
mob boss in Rocketeer. He played the mob
boss in Rocketeer. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. After Jennifer Connelly showed up, I forgot anybody that was in Rocketeer.
Well, that's the reason to watch it.
Right.
Yeah. Jennifer Connelly in the 90s and the 80s.
Woo. Man. I didn't know who she was. It was like Rocket who? Let me just fast forward to this part. But yeah.
Yeah, and he was also the father of Mira Sorvino.
The
other actress who's been in a bunch
of
stuff.
Do we need to go into detail about Mira Sorvino?
I don't know. And I can't think of anything she was in other than Replacement Killers.
She was in that Marilyn Monroe movie. She was a minister, but there's some shit that went down with her. Do we need to talk about it, or are we just gonna move on?
I don't know. I'm not aware of this. We don't need to talk about it. I'll just ignorance is bliss.
I've opened up the Pandora's box. I got to talk about it now. Okay. For those that don't know what Mira Sorvino, like, she was actually like a really hot actress around the time. Like I said, Replacement Killers, the Marilyn Monroe thing. She actually had a bunch of other roles around it also, but she was an actress for Miramax at the time. So who owned Miramax? Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
So basically what happened was, and this is all rumor, all conjecture, stuff like that, basically like she was one of the actors that wouldn't get down. So he blacklisted her. And that's why you don't see her. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she hasn't been around really since the 90s.
But it wasn't like she was in a bad movie, she disappeared. No, she just was gone. Like boom, that's it.
Well, she won an Oscar. I remember she won an Oscar, I think, for a Woody Allen movie, I believe.
Yeah, that was saying it wasn't like she wasn't talented, but yeah, that's what happened. Like that's how powerful Weinstein was at the time. He was like, if you don't put out, that's it, you're gone. You know,
Mimic. That's what she was in. Mimic.
She was in Mimic.
Yeah. One of Guillermo del Toro's first movies about the giant bugs that eat people.
Yeah, well, let's not talk more about Mia Sorvino than Paul Sorvino, but yeah.
Oh yeah, but her dad passed away. He was in a ton of shit, ton of movies, that I can't even name right now. But yes, most notably Goodfellas, Rocketeer, Dick Tracy.
You've seen him. You've seen him plenty of times, but yeah.
Yes. So
all right.
Yeah. So rest in peace. Good journey.
Rest in peace. Hate to just plow through it, but we got, like I said, a memorial wall. Also want to say rest in peace to David Warner. This one I'm a little bit even less familiar with.
You've seen him. This guy's been in like everything. He's another character actor that's been in every movie that we've all seen. A lot of horror flicks, a lot of sci-fi flicks. I'm sure he was in a Star Trek movie and episodes. He was in what let me pull him up now. I remember horror movie. He was in the Omen, original Omen movie.
The original Omen. Yeah. Okay.
He was in that. He was in the Tron movie. He was the main villain in Tron, the original Tron movie. He played the evil guy, the evil Satan character in Time Bandits. If you remember the movie Time Bandits.
Was that the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie?
No, that's Time Cop.
Oh, I get confused.
Yeah, no, Time Bandits, about the little people that travel through time, ripping stuff off from different times. And it's a great flick. I saw it as a kid, like multiple times as a kid. But he was in Time After Time. He played Jack the Ripper in Time After Time. He was in a Scream movie. He's in one of the Scream movies. In Star Trek. He is so many horror flicks. So many sci-fi. He was in a Planet of the Apes.
The original, right? Not the Marky Mark one. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going down the list.
One of them. Okay.
One of them. He played villains there. He's like in Star Trek, alien, like a Klingon. Looks like he played a Klingon on a Star Trek episode. Body Bags by John Carpenter. So he's another character actor that's been in a bunch of stuff that we've all seen. He passed away too this week.
There's one thing I do remember him from. That's one reason I want to put him on the list, because the most notable role I know from him was Ra's al Ghul.
That's right. He also did a lot of voice work. He played Ra's al Ghul on the animated series, Batman.
And the thing about it, like I said, a lot of my Batman knowledge originally came from that show. So this is my first time ever seeing Ra's al Ghul on the show. So I realized the moment he even showed up on the screen, voice and everything like that, like, okay, this guy is not Condiment King. He's not ventriloquist. This guy means business, Like I said, it's a great show, and especially when I went back and read the comic that the show was based on, the comic, and the show was almost 1-for-1. It's like follows it beat for beat. So I'm like, damn, pretty good. So anytime he came on the show, it was awesome. But Batman Animated Series had so many great voice actors. Is this? I remember Bull from Night Court. He was Two-Face.
Yeah. That dude's been in a bunch of like horror and sci-fi shit.
Right.
He's been in a bunch of movies and he's always being made up, like in monster makeup, because he was tall.
Yeah.
And shit.
Well, and he's not bald either. That's the thing. Like, he's actually got hair. And they asked him when he originally auditioned for Night Court, they're like, you can get the role, but do you mind shaving your head? You're like, shake my head. Give me a job. I'll shave my ass. Whatever.
I'm an actor.
Right. Oh, yeah. Let's keep going down the list. Wow. Okay. We're almost done, people. Let's talk about Mary Alice. Mary Alice just passed. I guess I got to take over for this, Eli. I guess gotta meet my quota.
I kind of know her, who she is.
Okay. Yeah. So Mary Alice is also a character actor. Tony Award winning, won a bunch of roles. You know her. She pretty much played every black mom in the 80s and the 70s. You know her. One famous role she was known for was A Different World, where she played like the house
That's
person.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
the dorm lady. Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, she was one of them. So now, like I said, since this is a technically comic book podcast, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever it is, to make her relevant to this show, she also played the Oracle in the third Matrix. The third Matrix, not the other Matrix.
Yeah.
Because Gloria Foster played the Oracle in the first two movies, but she passed away after the second movie. So they recasted her as Mary Alice in the third movie. So if you didn't know there was a different Oracle in the Matrix trilogy, I'm not calling you a racist, but you know.
They even wrote it in the script that it was still the same Oracle. She just changed her.
Right. They said like she tried to get away for her.
Like she got a different
her skin, her body, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the only way she could get away with this body or skin she trapped in. So they actually wrote it in the plot. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool with that. So yeah, rest in peace to Mary Alice. Like I said, and it's so much other stuff she played in. Sparkle, Fences. I don't have time to name all the stuff Mary Alice has been in, but you've seen it before. Oh, now this was a big one because I was going to spend more time on Mary Alice till this happened. This happened today. Bill Russell. Now, Eli, you say you don't know who Bill Russell is?
Not really. I am so not a fan of basketball. I just don't know. I can't play basketball. I don't watch basketball. All I know is Michael Jordan. That's all.
Okay.
I did have a pair of Jordan back then. That's all I know.
So you had one more pair of Jordans than I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't shoot a basket for shit. Not even at Chuck E. Cheese and the little. I can't make a basket for shit. I suck at basketball.
Mm-hmm. All right. So just going into detail about Bill Russell. Now with Bill Russell, okay. First off, he is one of the top 50 greatest basketball players of all time. He played for the Boston Celtics. During the Boston Celtics, he won 11 championships with them. And okay, so going down the road, he won 11 championships, making him the winningest player in professional sports history. So Tom Brady, you got some catching up because he's beating you right now. You know, he also became a coach for the Boston Celtics. I think it was Boston Celtics or somebody else, but he's the first Black coach in professional sports history also. So winningest player in sports history and first Black coach in professional sports history. So he did all that. Also, he was a civil rights activist also, pretty much always speaking. I just learned this today. When Medgar Evers got assassinated in Jackson, Mississippi, he came down to Jackson, Mississippi and asked what he can do to help, talk to his brother, Charles Evers. And to help, he set up an integrated basketball camp in Jackson, Mississippi back in the 60s. And even though they told him if you come down to Mississippi, they were going to send him they gave him death threats. Because in Mississippi, around that time, a white man never went to jail for killing a Black man. They didn't even go to trial for that shit. They didn't even get a parking ticket, nothing. So, but he came down and did it anyway, And plus, like I said, he played in the 60s. He was one of the only, it was weird. He was one of the only Black basketball players back then. It sounds weird now, but yeah, that was a thing. And he played in Boston. You think, okay, he played up north, that'd be better than Mississippi and Louisiana.
Shit.
It's Boston. It's just as bad. It's just as bad. They hated him in Boston. Now everybody loves him now, but they hated him back then. They wanted Bob Cousy, wanted John Havlicek, one of the other players to get the more recognition of it than him, even though he was the best player on the team. They hated him so much when they used to go away on teams, to win championships like that. He come back and the fans would ransack his house, break his trophies, and one fan even shitted in his bed. This is a story that his daughter told. So these are his fans now. And so, but yeah, like I said, he fought for civil rights the whole time. Even got a Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest award that a civilian can win. So he won that shit. So good journey, sir. That's all I got to say about that. But he was a legend. That's why it wasn't just some random guy that played for the Houston Rockets. Let's talk about him. No, Bill Russell was a big deal.
Definitely burn one for him.
Yeah. And okay, last on the list. Let's keep going. We got a bunch of them. Okay, let's talk about Nichelle Nichols. I want to save Nichelle Nichols for last because this is going to take a while. Because here's the thing. Yes, she's known for Star Trek, but I went on her Wikipedia or her biography before I started on this podcast, and it turns out that the Star Trek shit was like a drop in the bucket for the shit she did. Like she was like, you read her shit was like It's like the Forrest Gump movie. You know, Forrest Gump just kept running into celebrities and shit. That's how she was. So let's go down to history and see exactly who Nichelle Nichols is. So first off, I just like that pick. That was just an awesome pick of her. Anyway, she was a dancer. You know, she was a dancer for Duke Ellington. You know, she toured with him. And on top of that, she also was in the same dance squad as Maya Angelou. That's how they knew each other. Okay. Yeah. So she was there. So and she was just a part-time actress. She's the actress. Gene Roddenberry saw her. She's like, hey, you're gorgeous. Be in my pilot show that I have going on, Star Trek. And she was like, cool. Okay, I'll be in your show. She didn't watch the show, but she kept getting all kind of like racist messages and letters and fans and all stuff like that. She was like, fuck this. I don't want to be with this show. I'm out. But the reason she didn't quit the show because she went to an NAACP meeting and met Martin Luther King, who was a huge Star Trek fan. Mm-hmm. So he talked her into staying with the show. He was like, don't quit the show. We need more representation like you on the show because you're a black woman on TV that's not a mammy or a slave or a prostitute. We need more women like you on TV. So she stayed on the show for Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
You know,
as she puts it, he ordered her not to quit.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a big fan. He's like, I love you on the show. I'm a big fan. And she's like, well, that's cool, but I'm quitting. I got I think it was like some Broadway show she was going to go to.
Yeah, that's what she wanted. She wanted to be a Broadway dancer.
Yeah, she was going to go dance. He's like, no, you can't quit. Do not quit. That's what he told her. And he told her, like, yes, we that's what non-black people need to see as a woman, a black woman on TV, equal with everybody else. Even though the white guy was still in charge, still.
Right. But they still want to see that on the show, you know. And the thing was, another big thing happening on Star Trek in the last season. Most people don't know that the first show of Star Trek only lasted 3 seasons. So one of the big things that happened in the last season was this kiss, when she kissed Captain Kirk. For those who don't know, this is the first interracial kiss on network TV. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of people thinking that kiss got the show canceled. It didn't. The show was already canceled. They already knew this. The axe was coming, so they were like, "Fuck it, it's the last season. We can do whatever we want." So that's why they threw that kiss in there, you know. And they even wanted to cut that kiss, but I think they took like 30 cuts or 30 takes, something like that. And Captain Kirk, William Shatner, made a crazy face in every single cut. So the only cut that worked was the kiss scene. So that's why they threw it in there, even though that episode was banned in certain states in the South.
And I guess they got a ton of fan mail from it. That was such a popular episode that people actually, the fans loved it.
Yeah, just to see it. I mean, it's just weird. Like Captain Kirk on this show, if you watch that show, he was getting it down with everybody. Green, tentacle ladies, horn ladies, didn't matter. But a black lady, that's what people flipped out on, you know. Yeah. But wait, there's more. Mm-hmm. There's even more stuff she did. So after Star Trek ended, she actually got recruited by NASA. She got hired by NASA to recruit for astronauts. And she recruited a bunch of them, but one of the people she recruited was the first black woman in space. What's her name? Shit, Jay Jemison. I may be screwing up the name right now. I mess up the name, I'm gonna get in trouble. I know I am. See if you can Google it for me, Eli, before I get in trouble.
Okay. I know it ain't Jenna Jameson.
Mae Jemison. Mae Jemison is the name. I just remember on top of my head. Mae Jemison is the name. So that's the first black woman in space. She was recruited by Nichelle Nichols by NASA to go to space, and then turns around. She showed up on the episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. Well, she ran a program where she basically, it was like what do you call it? I can't remember. Like an advocate for minorities and women to join the space program, to be interested in science and space. And she promoted NASA for them and recruited all kinds of people of color and women to join NASA, become astronauts.
Just so cool show. And like I said,
Oh, she was also on an episode of Comic Book Men, the show that Kevin Smith did about his comic book store in New Jersey. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, where she showed up to the comic store looking for her Mego action figure because she never had one.
Wow. Okay, right.
So they didn't have. So there was they were trying to scrounge around all their collectors in town, trying to get her her figure, her Lieutenant Uhura Mego figure.
Yeah,
and they did. They got it.
So they finally got it. Yeah. So. And now, okay, so let's say you like Nichelle Nichols, but you don't want to care about this sci-fi shit. You want to watch something else that she was in. I got you there also. one of her greatest roles she ever played. Nothing do with sci-fi. It was Truck Turner.
Oh, that's
where she showed up as a female pimp. And that old role was awesome. She was awesome in that role. Because the thing was, it was so different from Lieutenant Uhura. She was basically like a pimp or a madam, if you want to call it. One of my favorite lines she had in that movie, like when two of her girls ran away, she's like, I better never see them bitches again. They better learn how to sell pussy in Iceland before I see them, some shit like that. So, man, awesome roles. So like I said, Nichelle Nichols. Now we can keep going down the road with Nichelle Nichols, all the stuff she did, but I think we pretty much comprehensive got everything we need to at that. So yeah. Rest in peace to her. So what else we got? Yeah, what else we got here? Okay, Eli, you're up now. We're done with the Waller Memorial. We're done with that.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully nobody croaks before the end of this podcast. But you watched a TV show. Now I didn't know this was even a thing. I didn't know this was even coming out.
Oh yeah, I just watched the first episode. So on Amazon, Paper Girls premiered on Amazon this weekend. I just found out today that it was on. I knew the show was coming out. I just didn't know it was coming out this weekend. So I got a chance to watch the first episode. Now this is based on Brian K. Vaughan, another Brian K. Vaughan comic, which I didn't finish it either. I suck at Brian K. Vaughan books. I never finished it. But
Runaways wasn't that bad. Runaways like 16 issues. At least the first one.
I never even read Runaways.
I recommend Runaways, but yeah.
Saga, nope. Last Man, nope. Or yeah, what else did he do? So many stuff that he's done. And Paper Girls, I was super into Paper Girls for a while though. I read that for a good year and then just kind of fell off it. But the story is about these girls in the 80s. They're paper girls. They're on a paper route, and the story starts out like Halloween night. They're delivering their paper route on Halloween night, and they're getting in all kinds of shenanigans and shit, because it's Halloween night. But then they stumble upon some weird intergalactic space war time travel stuff starts happening. Weird stuff starts happening. And of course, it's Brian K. Vaughan, so it's a super slow burn, and he reveals things very, very, very slowly.
Now, is Paper Girl Image or?
That was Image. I think it was Image. Yeah.
Image, okay.
Now, people are comparing this to Stranger Things. They're saying Paper Girls ripped off Stranger Things. However, Paper Girls predates Stranger Things by at least a year, I think. In fact, when I started watching Stranger Things, I'm like, oh, this is like Paper Girls. In fact, I was like telling people, hey, if you like that show Stranger Things, you should read this cool comic called Paper Girls. Same shit. But yeah, so I watched the first episode, and yeah, the first episode sticks pretty closely to the first couple of issues. They introduced the girls, they introduced the Halloween night Hell Day or whatever it's called, because of everybody's running around Halloween night and causing mischief and shit. And these they're all like 12, 13-year-old tweens. They're tween girls. They're trying to just deliver their papers while all these rowdy teens are still running around in Halloween costumes. And then they stumble upon this weird event starts happening where the power goes out, and then these weird alien people, they're just weird people that don't speak English, and they start shooting each other, and they think they're the Soviets. Of course, they bring that in, these Russian agents, because that was a thing back in the 80s.
The commies, yeah.
Yes. So they're wondering who these people are, why are they fighting each other, why are they dressed up in these weird costumes and shit. And then they start traveling through time. They start meeting their older selves and stuff like that.
As one would do.
Yeah. They travel, they go through time warps. And that's what kind of the comic was, is them traveling through different times and just revealing this war, this time war that's been going on. And it was fun. Like I said, I was really into it for a while, and then I kind of fell off and never finished the book. But I might go back. I mean, it's only like 20 something issues maybe, so it's like no reason.
Okay, so it's not like Why the Last Man with like 60 issues or something. Yeah. It wasn't that. Okay,
I'm sure I can a couple hours, I can bang out the rest of the issues and stuff.
20 issues is doable.
Yeah, 24, 25, like maybe 30, maybe 28 issues top, something like that. So not too bad.
25 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Anything past 25, you got to really keep my attention after that. Because I feel like, okay, I've read enough. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah. You had a year.
Right. That's season 1. Okay. I got season 1 now,
Yeah. If you can hold my attention, to me, it's 12 issues. So if I give you 12 issues.
Okay. 12 issues that's technically season 1. You're right, because that's a year.
Yeah.
That's a year.
Yeah, that's a year I've been on your book. And if
Right.
you ain't got me after 12, then I'm done. So like Coates' Black Panther. Gave him 12 issues, yo.
The 12 issues. Did it get better? I don't know if it got better, but
I gave him a chance, though. I thoroughly gave a year.
One of these days, because here's the thing, Eli, I feel like I wasn't smart enough to read Coates' run at the time. I feel like I'm mentally more intelligent than I was then, so I'm gonna go back and read it again and see if I catch some shit.
I was like, I feel like I'm getting smart by reading. I'm sure that's what everybody else felt too. Like, I'm smart. I'm reading Ta-Nehisi Coates.
You throwing all these words at me. I feel disrespected.
I'm gonna take them as disrespect.
Right.
Watch your mouth, Coates.
Speaking of Black Panther, can we transition?
Sure.
Okay, let's transition. Okay, so there's been a who is Black Panther theory like that. We talked about the Black Panther trailer last week. We had our own theories last week about what we think was going to happen or what we think the show might, or what the movie might go. And there was a thing. Now everybody in the world is thinking that. Now we know who this is in the suit. We know. But every other YouTube site, every other podcast is giving a different answer. They're like, oh, it can't be. It might be Shuri, but what if? What if it's this person? What if it's M'Baku? Like, really? Come on, man. And then the most popular one is not Shuri. It's really Nakia. Now, I'm about to debunk this right now, Eli. It's not Nakia. I'm going to tell you why it's not Nakia. Because, okay, you look at Nakia and you look at the Black Panther suit. Now, Lupita Nyong'o on her TikTok page the other day posted her going to San Diego Comic-Con. And it's her going up. Now, Eli, I want you to zoom in on that ass. Does that ass look like it can fit in that suit? Those are cheeks, man. Those are cheeks like doubled up on a Thursday afternoon. Like, wait, I'm trying to see if I can get it. And this is more proof in the pudding, Eli.
Oh, you've been researching. Huh?
I did research on this.
Scientific. The science.
Right.
Yeah, kicking the knowledge.
So, exactly. Make it make sense, Eli. Make it make sense. How do we go from this to this? I don't get it. I'm sorry. So that debunks that theory right now. Lupita Nyong'o has too much ass to be Black Panther. So that's out of there. So anytime you see that is clickbait, don't fall for the clickbait. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe, which we have your back. Don't listen to everybody else. But yeah.
Leroy the bootyologist. Exactly.
Sight beyond sight. Where are we going next? Okay, let's talk about let's go to the Vidja Game section. I've been dropped the Vidja Game section for a while, but I'm bringing it back now. We're gonna bring it back to the Vidja Game section. Before we go there, Eli, I think I have to make an apology. Okay, so on my stream the other night, I played Batman Arkham Knight, and on this section alone, took me an hour to beat on the stream. So I want to apologize for my performance. I didn't live up to my normal standards. It doesn't happen all the time. Give me another chance next week and I'll perform better, hopefully. Or you might get more death scenes like this. Who knows? So yeah, that's all I want to say. And last thing on that, just want to Eli, pray for me because next week is going to be Evo. That's like the nerd Super Bowl, the thing that I'm always hyped for, the thing that I will take off work to watch, But I can't do it because I got to work this weekend. So I got to sneak in from work and go to the break room and watch the Twitch stream, or maybe pull it up on the computer at work when nobody's looking.
There you go.
You know how you like double click, like minimize and pull up work and then go back to Twitch? So I'll go that way. So yeah, we kind of flew through that. Let's move on to the next part of it. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies where we talk about comic books.
Are we not going to talk about Harley Quinn?
Oh shit, I forgot. Let's talk about Harley Quinn. Let's talk about Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
While we're here, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We got time.
we got time. Yeah, we don't want to run through the show that fast. So what would you think about the Harley Quinn show?
I loved it.
Oh well,
It
like I said,
first...
it was three episodes.
Yeah,
So
I loved it. I was laughing my ass off through most of it.
yeah,
That
it
was
came
great.
back, laughed my ass off. I saw this scene that was controversial with Batman and Catwoman, and I see it was weird, but when you know the backstory behind it, it was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know.
Well, also like he was also doing something with their feet too, so it is even weirder.
Right, it was even weirder. Not what you expect. Like it wasn't what they wanted, but it was funny at the beginning of it when the show first came on when they had those two porn stars.
Yeah,
And then I was like, "Wait, what's going on?" And then when Gordon met them and he knew who they were,
yeah.
Carly Kryptonite, adult film actress. Like
Yeah.
Gordon, really?
And then that female cop was like, "Hey, can I get a selfie?" It's
Right. So all that was hilarious. Even when they went to the villain awards and they started naming out villains, and then they were like, "Oh, who's gonna win at this award? It's gonna be Kevin Spacey." I'm like, "Oh man, you're really gonna go there." So it was a joke. Now, my only criticism right now is that I don't feel like the show has a direction right now. Like, what is the main narrative of the season? First season had it, second season had it.
I think they're going into, like you said, they're probably going into the relationship. We have Poison Ivy. She's trying to do her terraforming Earth or whatever.
Right.
You know? And they touched upon it in the first episode. We're like, oh, here's this thing that Poison Ivy wanted to do, this project where she was going to like terraform Earth with all these prehistoric plants, basically take over the planet. Take over the planet with plants. And but she kind of ditched the project. And then Harley's like, no, you got to do this. And then you saw like how Harley is so chaotic and she got bored doing that, you know, and so there's that rift in their relationship where like Poison Ivy has this like really smart,
right? She's focused, yeah.
And then Harley,
but at the same time, she's not really a people person either. That's when we know when she made that plan and didn't really know how to communicate the plan, you know.
Yeah, and Harley's a total extrovert, total chaos, and loves being a center of attention, loves attracting attention, and so we're starting to see that dynamic in the relationship, and they're going to have to make it work somehow and in the second episode. We're like, okay, no, I really want, she's like, no, we're not going to have, I can't do this. We're too different. But then she's like, no, let's make this work. So they try to make it work by recruiting the crew.
Right. And it looked like Bane's on the team now, which Bane was a breakout in the other episode.
The pasta maker. And then you saw that was the Nightwing episode where Nightwing. Nightwing and Batman. Oh, why are you talking like that, Dick?
Oh man!
And then Damien's like, "Oh, to the Batmobile, shotgun." And then Damien's
then he'd already flipped them off. I'm already here, bitch. So we recommend. I don't know if people have seen the Harley Quinn show. We love it. Season 3, it just started off with a bang. Now that I think about it, remember those Harley Quinn comics we read that Eat, Bang, Kill tour?
Yeah,
I feel like they're canon. I need to go back and read those.
Yeah,
because this shit happened in between that. You know, that I may catch up and see what happened. So,
and the third episode was actually really, really well written as far as like thematically, because they were going to the villain awards or whatever, and they're going for best couple. But then they met Kite Man, who is Poison Ivy's ex.
Right, and Joker made them sit next to each other. Yeah,
yeah, and then Poison Ivy meets Kite Man's girlfriend out.
Yeah,
outside.
Golden Glider. She was on the CW. She's a Flash villain. So yeah.
Yeah, and and then what else was going on? Wasn't there some shit with there was another relationship.
Riddler came out the closet.
Him
and Clock King have a thing.
Yeah,
but everybody kept confusing him with Cock King, who was another supervillain. Yeah,
the Clayface. As
Clayface, that's the shit.
And James Gunn.
That shit was hilarious. It took me a while to figure out who that was in there, but it was Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, it took me a while. Like, who is this guy? You know,
I don't sit.
You're like Christopher Nolan. You never sit on your set. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man,
good stuff.
So Yeah, great show. Now I'm gonna watch that show. That is my show now. I'm just glad I got something to watch again. Also on HBO Max, I'm going to ahead and say this now. They have a Milestone documentary on there. Milestone Comics.
Oh no shit.
Back in the
That's
80s and 90s and shit like that. I knew most of this stuff. Some of it I'm glad it filled in the blanks, but definitely watch that. So for those who haven't seen it. So
cool.
All right. Cool. Let's move on. I think you got more books than me. I ain't really got that many books this week. So
yeah, I don't have that many books.
It's the fifth week. The fifth week is shit.
I ain't
yeah.
even fucking get any images, so y'all gonna have to like imagine. Use your imagination.
The theater of the mind.
Yes. Yes. I guess I'll do detective.
Cool. Okay.
What number is this? It's like a weird number. 1062 or something.
I don't like 1030 or something. Hold on, I got you. Yeah, 1062. That's what it is. Okay.
Okay, so this is the new run. New detective run.
None of that Fear State shit or
new artists, new writers, whole new era. Damn. Okay, so yeah, it's 1062, and the last detective comic I read was 1051. So I haven't read this in about a year.
Damn. But it's a new crew, so
it's
a lot of times
crew.
you can just pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're done with the future state. We're done with the Joker War and all that shit that was going, the Tinian run and all that stuff. So this is Ram V and Raphael Albuquerque on art, and it's a whole new storyline. Basically, we start out with there's weird things going on in Gotham. Batman is going after Sal Maroni's nephew, who's taking over the crew, and they're smuggling some shit. He's trying to figure out what they're smuggling, but then he runs into some weird zombie dead guy who comes after him, and he's like trying to fight this thing. It's like a zombie dude, and then he gets an arrow in the head, and Batman's like, "What the hell?" And it turns out it's Talia al Ghul. It's like, Talia, you're not supposed to be here. Remember, you're not supposed to be in this town. And when you are in my town, you're not supposed to kill anybody. And she's like, "Oh, that you're getting old. You can't be playing by those rules anymore. Look how slow you are. This guy got the drop on you, and you're just not the same, Bruce. You're getting old." So she takes off, and then he goes back to his the brownstone. He's still in the Bat Cave is in the brownstone, so he's still
still not a billionaire or whatever. Yeah, okay.
But he owns the brownstone, the whole block, and he's like running all these tests on himself. He doesn't feel as fresh as he used to be. He feels, even Dick Grayson's like, Nightwing's like, "You're getting old, Bruce. You got to hang it up." And he's looking into what Maroni was smuggling. It has something to do with like antique artifacts. So there's this box. It looks like the Hellraiser box. And then we go to some weird country, some Coronis, something I never heard before. Or no, Coronis, the Oregon Palace in Svartsdal. So some foreign country where some prince is talking about these artifacts that he's smuggling into America. And there's some sort of having a problem with the mob that's going on in Gotham. Like, hey, the mob are trying to back out of the deal. Well, it's because Batman is fucking the shit up. So they're like, "Hey, man, the docks are your problem. That's you said you take care of the docks, but hey, Batman comes and beats the shit out of us and fucks up the docks, so we can't use the docks. So we can't smuggle your shit if we ain't got docks. It ain't our problem, well, fuck off." And then he brings in his like weird, creepy looking Grim Reaper assassins, and then they like kill all the mobsters. This foreign guy with the Hellraiser box. I don't know. And then we cut to Batman, or Bruce Wayne is having a nightmare. He's having a nightmare, and it's Barbatos is in he's dreaming about.
He's back.
Barbatos. Damn. Yes, that's what I said.
Oh damn. Okay.
So this is kind of going cool until I was like, "Is this really? Are we?"
We can never get away from Barbatos, man. It's just like he always.
So I'm like, I mean, it was an okay story, but if that's what it's going to be, like, oh, it's a cool Hellraiser box. But if it's going to open up a portal to Barbados, I'm like,
they may do something different with Barbados this time, because maybe somebody will sacrifice them to Barbatos, or maybe people just worship Barbatos. You know, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'm holding out hope. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see Barbados again.
Me neither. So it's a little bit. I'll still give it a 3 out of 5 just because I was into the story, but I'm not sure about the Barbatos angle. So
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
All right. Yeah. So next book I'm going to review is Captain America: Symbol of Truth #3. This is the Sam Wilson book.
Yeah.
So
I almost got this, but then didn't.
It was like nothing else to get. I was like, well, might as well get this one. So
yeah.
Where is it? Basically the book left off last time is that I can't find the damn book. Did I get it? I didn't get it. I did get it. There we go. What happened last book issue is that Captain America, Sam Wilson and Deadpool infiltrated Latveria, who is the kingdom of Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is like, what the fuck you doing here? I caught you. You got to stand trial in front of me, and because you can't be in my country without me letting you know. So that's where we pick up. So let me see where we left off. So it's basically the book makes it seem like Deadpool and Captain America be fighting their way out of Latveria, but that's not what happens. I'll tell you what happens. Pretty quick. They're basically standing trial, and Dr. Doom is basically holding court. He basically tell me what the hell is going on. And Sam Wilson just tells him straight up. He's like, look, somebody's smuggling vibranium out of your country. And Doom was like, well, if you're doing that, why didn't you just tell me ahead of time and we could have helped you find those guys instead of you sneaking into my country? And plus, I would have told you that those guys not sneaking in my country, they're carrying food and humanitarian supplies to my people, since your people cut off supplies from the United States, cut off supplies from Latveria. So thank you, Joe Biden. And so he was just like, look, I'm gonna let you go, Captain America, but I'm gonna let you go because I want you to tell your government that if I ever see another American agent on my soil again without my permission, they're gonna have to answer to me. It's gonna be let's go Biden, this motherfucker. But he says, Deadpool, you stay back. So we don't know what he said to Deadpool, but anyway, that's what's going on with that. Okay, so I didn't know what this Wakanda Forever thing was, but now I know what the Wakanda Forever thing is. So apparently the storyline in this Captain America storyline is that Black people are trying to migrate to Wakanda. That's what the Wakanda Forever thing is. I'm like, oh shit. Why did we do that before? Go back where you came from. Okay, let's go.
Hell yeah.
So basically they said, okay, so the Deadpool, he was like, Latveria was a dead end, but I got information from Deadpool that they're sneaking in vibranium, and we know they're sneaking from Wakanda. So we need to set up a mission in Wakanda. He was like, and Sam is like, no, we're not gonna do the same shit we just did with Dr. Doom. I'm cool with Wakanda. Let's just call them and let them know what's going on. You're like, well, we can't do that because Wakanda leadership is kind of fluid right now, which if you read the Black Panther comic, all hell's breaking loose over there. So it's all tied together. Storyline with the new Falcon. I don't care. Let's cut to I do not care about the storyline. All right. So we cut back to Sam, and he's in Sing Sing, and he's like, I hadn't been here in like 10, 15 years. I'm like, oh shit, are they bringing back Snap Wilson? They referring to when Sam was a pimp? Like, no, it's back when he was a social worker. So he just knows this guy named Cam. How we know him? We don't know how he knows him. He just knows him. He gives us some information about what's going on in the yard. He like this Wakanda Forever movement. Somebody came through and shut shit down. So whoever is on the outside starting the Wakanda Forever movement is doing the same thing in here in prison. It's all connected. I don't know how it's connected, but it's connected. You need to find a connection between it. More Falcon shit. Nope. Where were we? Okay, here we go. So Sam talks to, the Prime Minister of Wakanda, Lady Fasade, I can't remember her name, Shuri, and her assistant, whatever like that. He like, look, somebody is smuggling vibranium out of your country. So we want to come over there and investigate and help you out. And she's like, no, Americans are not coming over to Wakanda to investigate vibranium. If there's a vibranium problem, we will solve their problem. So that's it, and she hangs up on him. And that's when the senator just like, told you. That's why we should just went through to begin with, And that's when Sam kind of whispers to herself, man, I missed T'Challa. It would have been a whole lot easier if I could just talk to him instead of just talking to them, What else with the storyline? So we go to Sam, and he's like, okay, so it's the only way for me to get into Wakanda. I'm gonna sign up for the Wakanda Forever movie and migrate with everybody else to Wakanda. So that's how he's gonna get in. And that's when we see the White Wolf. He just like, all according to plan. And
Excellent.
yeah, and that's the storyline. More Falcon shit, don't care. He gets shot by crossbones and captured. And yeah, that's the thing. Oh, and his sister, cousin, whatever like that, she's sneaking in vibranium. So I didn't catch this at first. They're trafficking vibranium through those prisoners.
Okay.
That's what doing. I'm just not catching that. Okay. So yeah, the story. So yeah, the sandwich story is not bad. It's interesting. It's catchy. You know, the thing is, when you have a Sam Wilson story and a Steve Rogers story at the same time, you got to make them different. You got to have it. Can I see Steve Rogers in this story? I can't see Steve Rogers wanting to go to Wakanda. I can't see that. So this does feel like a Sam Wilson story. So I can deal with that. So overall, 3.5 out of 5. I'm glad Deadpool is out of there because Deadpool got on my fucking nerves. Whoever writing this story can't write comedy. So I'm glad he quit telling those dad jokes with Deadpool. So yeah. All right. So yeah, what you got?
I'll do Obi-Wan number 3.
Cool.
Oh, I was about to share an image that I didn't have. So sorry. So this is just the Obi-Wan comic book, and it's just sort of him reminiscing about different times of his life. He's like writing a journal. There's like a sandstorm.
A
going
memoir.
Yes, there's a sandstorm going over Tatooine, and he's like in his hut, just reminiscing about his life. And this issue, he reminisces about a time in the Clone Wars. So we go back to the Clone Wars. And he's remembering a battle where a bunch of soldiers, a bunch of clones a bunch of lives were lost, and how he struggles with with being a Jedi, but also being at war. I remember Mace Windu said, "We're peacekeepers, not soldiers." The Jedi were never meant to be soldiers. But here they were becoming generals and leading armies into battle, sort of blurring the code of the Jedi way. So that's sort of what he ponders. And we see a lot of this in Clone Wars too. Like they ponder these same ideas. The Jedi ideology, what have you. So there's a lot of that going on in
like
this.
When are they being hypocritical? Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like to preserve all life. They were meant to protect. But here's this battle where all these lives are getting lost, and he tries to protect all his soldiers. Like they're getting mowed down, and then one of the commanders like, we got to just blow this place. We got to blow. And they're on a bridge, I believe. Like we got to just blow this bridge and get out of here. But Obi-Wan's like, but there's all these people here. So we got to go, man. And he almost gets killed. Like an IG-88 droid comes and almost shoots. Like gets the drop. He's like trying to carry a wounded clone soldier off the battlefield, and a IG-88 droid comes and almost shoots Obi-Wan, but another soldier like saves him. He's like, we gotta go, man. He's like, but all these lives, we're blowing this bridge, we gotta go. So they do. They go. They get out of there. They blow the bridge, kill the enemy, kill the fucking whoever was on the bridge gets killed. And a really powerful line, though. It's like we've seen this in the Clone Wars, but there was this one line Obi-Wan said at the end that really made it worth it. Is the bridge is blown, we won. He's like, how many lives did we lost? He's like, countless, but we lived to fight another day. And then he goes back into his flashback where he's writing in his journal. Yes, we did live to fight again and again and again. And again and again. I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful. That the war just never ended.
Right.
War just never ends. Which was pretty profound, I thought. But it reminded me of like a lot of they tackle this stuff. They tackle these ideas on the Clone Wars. There's a novel. Okay, I'm gonna get Star Wars geeky on every y'all. There's a novel, a Mace Windu book called Shatterpoint. It's awesome. It's basically Apocalypse Now in Jedi in Star Wars universe. Mace Windu's Padawan, his ex-Padawan, goes nuts in AWOL and is hiding out on this fucked up jungle planet where there's a civil war going on. And he goes to this planet to try to track them down. So it's like Hearts of Darkness or Apocalypse Now. He's looking for his, this ex-Jedi that went nuts and is living in the jungle amongst the soldiers fighting this war. And throughout the book, Mace Windu is always pondering, what it means to be a Jedi. Here he is, a Jedi in this war, trying to maintain the light side without giving into the dark ways, and he keeps thinking about the Battle of Geonosis. So I'm bringing back Attack of the Clones, everyone's favorite Star Wars movie.
It's grown on me. I can deal with it, but I remember that scene. So yeah.
Episode 2, it has its moments. It has Jango Fett, man.
Right.
But the Battle of Geonosis at the end, where we first learn about the droid army, the droid factory, and that the banking clan and all the players were all secretly, building this army. They were all there. And then but that's where Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin were being, held prisoner. And then the Jedi show up with the clone army, and then that's the battle that set off the Clone Wars. But Mace Windu is constantly thinking about that. And he keeps saying, all we had to do was drop a bomb on that arena. We would have killed all the droid army, the droid factory, and killed all the leaders of the Separatist.
But you would have killed Anakin and Padme also.
Yes, we would have sacrificed 3 Jedi, but this war would have never happened. And he keeps wrestling with that. He says, but that's not the Jedi way. The Jedi way is to protect life. So we went down to go save these Jedi's lives. But now that action led to this war that cost all these other Jedi lives. So it's like PTSD. It haunts him. Mm-hmm. Making that decision haunts him. And just like in this book, Obi-Wan is like, wow, I left that bridge and bombed that bridge. Yes, we won that battle, but we killed everybody. And it still haunts him, So I just thought it was pretty cool, going into like the effects of war and the effects of what the war would have on the Jedi, or like a peacekeeper, like a monk. Because, Jedis are supposed to be like priests or monks.
Right. Emotionless and right.
There's a Jet Li movie. I think it's one of the Shaolin Temple movies where he plays he's a monk. He's a Shaolin monk, and he's wrestling with the same idea. Like how we're supposed to preserve life, but why are we training to fight? And he wrestles with that same,
right,
quandary, So violence, I just thought
peace, gotta walk that line.
Yeah. Strive, prepare for peace, or live in peace, but prepare for war or whatever, So just pretty cool, deep ideas. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I really dug this issue. It's probably the best issue so far of this Obi-Wan series. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So next book I'm gonna do. This was a doozy, but I'm gonna speed through as fast as possible. This was Amazing Spider-Man number 6. I got it. I thought about it. Yeah, only because it was a slow week. I was like, it's a slow week. I'll just do it.
Is that the only book you bought?
Pretty much. It was fucking $10. I was like,
I know. That's why I didn't get it. It was 900, whatever, number 900.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just read this one book, and that's gonna be it. Marvel, you're not getting more of my money this week.
I was like, I should get this, but $10.
Yeah, there is some positives about this.
Man, I can't do it. It's rent week.
That's what I'm saying. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. But I will give you some positive about this book. So, even though John Romita Jr. does the cover, John Romita Jr. does not do the art. So that's a good thing.
Well, you bought that for $1, then
yeah. Ed McGuinness does the art. So they actually got a good artist to do this run. And like I said, this is issue 900 of the Amazing Spider-Man. So it's like a legacy thing. So that's why the book's so long. This is 86 pages. Ooh. Don't worry. I'm gonna speak through this shit as fast as possible. But yeah, it's thick, nice, girthy. But Spider-Man. So yeah, what you expect? I'm past that. Don't care. What do we got? Okay, so the book starts off with we don't care about that. All you need to know is that it's Peter Parker's birthday. And everybody's mad at him because he came early, because they expect him to come late. So since he came on time, he showed up too early for them to prepare for the party. So everybody's mad at him right now. It's like, get out the party. But anyway, he shows up and everybody's at the party. Robert Robinson, Flash Thompson, who's back alive now, even though he died in issue 800. But whatever. And everybody like, hi, Peter. Everybody's mad at him because he showed up early. They had time to prepare for the party. So he's talking to people, talking to Liz.
Ain't here yet.
Right. He's talking to Flash. Flash. This was funny. He's talking to Flash. Flash like, hey, Pete, I ain't seen you in a long time. I thought you was a loser because you still work for the Daily Bugle. But then I found out you don't even have a job. You're like, thanks, Flash. Mockingbird's there. May's there.
And let us know for all the assholes that who hate woke shit. All you gotta do is read this comic, and Flash is still white.
Flash is still white, exactly.
so is Spider-Man.
So is Spider-Man, right? in this comic.
In this comic,
right? And then you got Felicia. She's getting jealous. Like, who are you talking to over there? She mad. You mad because you were talking to Mockingbird. He was like, hold on, why are you talking to Mockingbird? And that's when the spider sense goes off. Dr. Octopus limbs come through there, and then apparently his limbs are attached to J. Jonah Jameson,
What?
And then he's yelling for Peter Parker. He's just like, get me out of this shit. But he whispers to him, man, get me out of this shit. Because he somehow he knows. I didn't read the issue when he found it, but I guess he knows now. He was like, get Spider-Man, get me the hell out of here. And that's when Black Cat shows up, kick the shit out of Jameson. Mockingbird shows up, and Black Cat is just like, hold up, back the fuck up. I protect Peter Parker, not you. She's like, oh, my bad. So they kind of like fighting. They throw Jameson out of the building, but the limbs catch him, and then all through the building, stuff like that. Anyway, Spider-Man comes down and protects everybody else and tries to get Jameson out of the octopus limbs. But before he can, the octopus limbs detach from Jameson and attach on him automatically. He's trying to run away. Boom, it catches him. While it's doing that, it's drilling something in the wall, in the brick wall behind him. He turns around and it says, help. So obviously he knows it's from. It's got to be from Dr. Octopus if it's Dr. Octopus limbs, And Jameson's like, don't worry, you go do your Spider-Man shit. I'll cover for you. So he goes back to the throne and he's like, the party is canceled. Peter had to do something. Plus, today's not even his birthday. And you're like, yes, it is. Like, how the hell you know? And turns around, oh, hey, Aunt May. So of course Aunt May knows, He's like, anyway, everybody get the hell out the house, And so Spider-Man, I'm gonna just speed through this shit. Anyway, the Dr. Octopus detaches that shit for Spider-Man to follow him and go get him. So he goes get him. And when he gets there, it's an old villain he met back in the 80s called the Living Brain. I didn't read that book. Stan Lee wrote it. Steve Ditko with some old shit. But anyway, the Living Brain made this new villain called the Sinister Adaptoid. So like the Super Adaptoid, but he mimicked the Sinister Six. So it's the Sinister Adaptoid. So he has all the Sinister Six powers. And he's just kicking the shit out of Spider-Man the whole time. Kicks him out
kind of like Taskmaster.
Kind of like Taskmaster, but he only does the Sinister Six.
Okay.
So anyway, kick the shit out of Spider-Man. Go past that. People get kidnapped. Don't care. Living Brain. He goes to the backstory about how he's a living brain and how he wants to. Basically, he's doing all this to kidnapping his villains and his friends to find out who is Spider-Man. So right before he attacks, his loved ones, which he's all kidnapped, Spider-Man standing back up. You want to find out? Why don't you ask me? And then they fight again. And Sinister Adaptoid beats the shit out of him again. But before he can really kick the shit out of him, the Dr. Octopus arms connect to his head, and give Spider-Man just enough time to get out of there. So he runs away and runs to another room. In the room he runs into, he finds Dr. Octopus tied up. He's like, what the fuck? So he realized, okay, look, Dr. Octopus, this guy here got all your powers. We need to team up. He was like, well, I'm not the guy you need to ask. You need to ask these guys. And he turns around and it's the rest of the Sinister Six. All of them been kidnapped by the Living Brain, Sinister Adaptoid, all stuff like that. So Spider-Man has to make a decision. Okay, I can let these guys loose and we can fight this guy. But if I let them loose, they're going to attack me as soon as we beat the guy, even if we do beat this guy. And Dr. Octopus basically telling him, look, Spider-Man, we ain't got time for this shit. That guy's going to come in this room right now. He kicked the shit out of us, and we can kick the shit out of you. So obviously you can't fight him on your own. So what's your options? You're like, well, damn. Okay. So that's when the Sinister Adaptoid breaks the wall. I'm tired of playing with you. I'm coming for you. And when he gets in the room, that's when you got the Sinister Six teaming up with Spider-Man. So this is the money shot. He was like, Sinister Six, you about to meet my friends. He's like, we're not friends. You're like, oh, well. So they all fight, big splash page, all of them fighting the Sinister Adaptoid, and of course they win. Exactly what you expect. But yeah, after they beat the shit
Looks
out of
cool,
him,
man. The art looks dope.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's Ed McGuinness. He's a classic artist. He did Fantastic Four, classic artist. Basically, the reason they beat him is because since he has all the mind of the Sinister Six and the Sinister Six hate each other, he just like short circuits himself out because he can't control which mind takes over which. So that's when they find the living brain, the brain that's controlling the Sinister Adaptoid, and the Sinister Six are like, oh, cool, let's kill it. And Spider-Man like, whoa, you can't kill it. Like, why not? They're like, because if you kill the reason this monster's after me to begin with, because I didn't treat it right back in Spider-Man #8 back in the 60s. So if we don't do the right thing now, this monster might send another Sinister Adaptoid even worse than him. So why don't y'all listen to me just this one time and we will deal with our shit later on? Cool. And then Sister's like, all right, can we kill him too? They're like, yes, let's kill him now. And then kill the brain too. So while they rush him, so they rush the shit out of Spider-Man and kick the shit out of him also. So because he can't beat the Sinister Six. And he even makes fun of Mysterio, like, Mysterio, stop with the damn gas. Just shoot more gas at him. They beat him, they kick over, and then they basically fighting over who's going to kill him, because that's what the Sinister Six always do. They argue over who's going to be the one to kill him. And Craven is just like, you know what? I don't want his life. I want his soul. And Electra like, what the fuck you mean I want his soul? Look, he tells Spider-Man, look, Spider-Man, I want you to kill that brain for us. If you kill that brain, I'll make sure you walk out of this room unharmed. But if you don't kill that brain, I'm gonna let everybody loose on you. So we got a deal? He was like, well, I ain't got much choice. Y'all come and fight me. So when he comes and fight him, that's when that robot that controls the brains is like, oh, so this is Spider-Man. So this is what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is somebody that even though he's overpowered by obstacles, he'll still protect people that can't protect themselves. Interesting. So that's when he just puts all the Sinister Six back in a box and shit them back where they came from, And that's the end of the Sinister Six. He was like, so what'd you do with the Sinister Six? Did you put him in jail? Like, nah, I just sent him back to Gunwood. Well, it would have been nice if you put him in jail. We were like, and anyway, Spider-Man, I just want to tell you one thing. Happy birthday, Peter. He was like, what, if you already knew who I was, why you did all this shit? Anyway, he walks out the room and he beats the bad guy. He's like, don't worry, I'll make sure nobody comes for you again. I protect you. So we go to Peter. He walks outside and Black Cat finally shows up at tracking him down. And she just like, everything's good. She like, yeah. She like, Peter, I didn't give you a birthday present. And you know what it does to me when you go out and save people. So she kisses him. She like, let me go get you your birthday present. So you know what's about to go down with that. And apparently Dr. Octopus limbs are in love with Spider-Man or some shit. I don't know. Anyway.
I just thought he was Doc Ock spying on him.
It could be, or maybe Dr. Ock's in love with him. I don't know. Whatever. That's the end of the story.
Ass, Pete. Get that ass. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, anyway, this is a one-shot story. They're gonna go to another storyline next year. So you just like pick this book up and just read it and you're good. So a lot of other stuff happened, but I kind of just flew through it. It was a nice, easy breezy pick up Spider-Man book. Sinister Adaptoid is going to be a trivia thing down the road. Who is the name of this villain that did blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, whatever.
And it just has all his villains in one.
And he's got all the villains. And he teams up with them. He teams up with the Sinister Six for like the first time. So, that's a thing. So, cool story. 4 out of 5. Good, easy breezy. I'm still pissed I paid $10 for it. But
was it worth the buck? Was it worth the bucks?
If it was like $6, $7, maybe
I'll just wait for Marvel Unlimited.
Just wait for Marvel Unlimited. Marvel Unlimited, you're probably gonna have a higher rate because you have to pay for that shit.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got left?
Last book I'll do is Ninja Turtles 131, I believe.
Cool. All right.
So this is kicking off that Armageddon War or whatever, that big event. This big event that's going on in the Ninja Turtles verse, where the Rat King and Baxter Stockman and Krang are teaming up to basically take over the world. They're teaming up. And the Shredder, one of his past lives, wants to redeem himself. And he wants to stop this from happening. He wants to stop the Rat King and Krang and Stockman from fucking up the world. He's trying to redeem himself. He's been through hell. now he's back and he wants to become good now. So he's going back in time and trying to figure out weaknesses with all the villains, with Krang and all these other ones. But he needs to recruit allies because he can't go up against them himself. So what does he do? He's going to go get the turtles. And that's what he does. In this issue, he goes and meets with the turtles. Like, yo, there's a big threat coming. Rat King's teaming up with Krang and Baxter Stockman, and they're going to do some shit, and we need to stop them. And they're like, what? Shredder? What'd you say? Like,
Right.
you're Shredder. You killed our master. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. No. He has to convince them. And that's part some of the book they're dealing with that. Like, they don't trust him, but he's like, this is coming, and he needs to be stopped. Now you can either help me or not, but but in order to do this, you need to learn skills you've never done before, and you need to learn dark magic ninjutsu. So he starts teaching them these ancient ninjutsu techniques involving magic and special abilities, and everyone has a different ability. But in using that magic, it also you're causing an unbalance in the universe, so you have to get rid of that energy as well, so they all start having different nightmares and stuff. Each turtle has a nightmare about a different villain. Donatello's having a nightmare about Bebop and Rocksteady, and Raphael has a nightmare about some weird monsters and stuff. They each of them have these different nightmares. Leonardo is the only one who doesn't have one, and they're wondering why. But it turns out Shredder's goes to Leo. He's like, "Yo, you're holding back. You're holding back your abilities. You need to let them go." And he's like, "Well, I think what you want to do. I guess in some older storyline, there's a dark version of Leonardo, like the dark version, the evil version of Leonardo." And he says, I'm afraid if I tap into that dark power that it's going to bring back my dark side.
Oh, this is Ryu from Street Fighter. Okay, you tap into the dark Hado because Akuma's gonna. Okay, yeah, all
something,
right.
Yeah. And he says, well, that's what you have to do. You're gonna have to tap into that. In order to do this, you have to embrace the darkness and balance it out. So that's kind of where it, and Shredder's like, and I will teach you. And that's kind of where it ends. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. I dug on it. There are some characters I'm not really too familiar with. That Jenka or whatever, the new girl turtle, is in this, and that Fox chick, what's her name? She popped up in the IDW. She's that Fox, the Arctic Fox mutant ninja. I can't remember her name.
See, I don't like it when Ninja Turtle go all mutant cows and shit. Just give me ninjas and mob bosses and shit. Just give me that.
Yeah. Well, they did it before. I mean, you had Leatherhead, and you had Baxter Stockman turns into a fly and shit.
Yeah, but that was only in the cartoon. It was on the cartoon comics. He just was a robot or some shit. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm digging on it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm probably gonna see this out because I've been just digging. I mean, after the game, I've been all about ninjas, Ninja Turtles, ninja movies. Yeah, I've been.
They have the original arcade one coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah, the bundle.
The bundle, yeah.
That. Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
So I'll check that out. So
4 out of 5.
You know what? I'm gonna do one more book.
All right.
I thought about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I don't know how this is gonna go over. Okay. It's an indie book.
Florida Man. I saw this. I was wondering what that.
I was like, I always thought about they should make a comic about Florida Man. Somebody should do that. And they did it. So I was just like, if you're gonna do it, I might as well just talk about it. Because I never thought somebody would actually do it, So yeah, if Florida Man is exactly what you think it is. It's about a dude in Florida just doing dumb Florida shit, So that's the book, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but we'll just talk about it for a second. Basically, the book is the cover is him riding a gator because he's in Florida. It's not a superhero book, it's not a comedy book, it's just a dude in Florida just doing dumb shit. That's what the book is. Let's see what we got. All right. It basically And I'm not gonna do it. They actually rhyme here also. This is Floyd the Exterminator likes to date strippers and kill him
Oh,
some
you
gator.
don't want me to beatbox this time?
We're not gonna do it. We're not, because I don't know what to put with this. Should we do like Beverly Hillbillies or some shit? I don't know. You know, but the same thing. But right, yeah. So a Dukes of Hazzard, I don't know. So mainly the three characters you got is Floyd, Gary, and Gary's girlfriend Crystal. That's what you need to know about them. Thing you need to know about them, Crystal is you'll find out about Crystal. Okay, and they fight. Okay, so they're in Florida. They never say what part of Florida, just in Florida. They're basically just getting drunk. You know, he's about to take a piss. He finds a snake in his toilet, so he just takes a piss on the end, and then he slips on a bottle, knocks himself out. I can't remember this is Gary or Floyd, one of them. Anyway, knocks himself out, then wake up the next morning, and that's when he gets a phone call from Crystal. He gets a phone call from Crystal. Apparently, Crystal last night got arrested at a Waffle House because she was butt naked, dancing on top of the table, licking the manager, and they found coke in her purse. So they got to bail her out, but they need $500 to bail her out. So the whole book is about them trying to find $500 to bail her out. Oh, and Gary dumbass took a shit anyway, not knowing that a snake was still in the toilet. You know, yeah. So anyway, moving on past that, honestly, this book reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto for some reason. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why. Anyway, they keep getting into it with this
Grand Theft Auto like redneck style.
They really should. They should put it in Florida. Just do dumb shit like this. It'd be in, like right in place. You know,
stealing pickups and like ATVs and shit.
Right, and they keep getting into it with this. Oh, this old lady keeps popping up over all the time, and she was like, "Okay, lady, leave me the fuck alone." They run past her, so the lady pulls a gun on them and starts shooting at them. So they pull a gun back on her and shoot at her. You know, so yeah, so they go to the pawn shop. They're like, "We're gonna oh, okay." He's like, "I know how to get my girlfriend out. I'm gonna pawn my 1986 Barry Bonds rookie card." He's like, "This shit ain't worth nothing but $100." So you're like, "Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna sell it in the store. Who want my 1986 Barry Bonds rookie card?" And then he kicks him out of the store. He's like, "So you gonna kick me out?" So he grabs his gator and starts swinging the gator in the pawn shop. He like, "Since you fucking with me," so they kick him out again. You know, so he goes, and this is why it reminds me of Grand Theft.
Was it that episode of Atlanta?
With Florida Man. That was an episode, Florida Man.
The Florida Man with what's his name?
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams had the
where
gator.
He had a gator in the right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my alligator. You ain't got no alligator. Yeah, he do. That's the alligator man.
Now, this one reminds me of Grand Theft Auto right here, because Habib Rodriguez, because this shit right here, like, I'll get you off one way or another. See, Grand Theft Auto always does that shit. So anyway, they're trying to hire a lawyer to get his girlfriend out. And the lawyer is just like, Habib is just like, "Okay, I'll get your girlfriend out, but you got to do a job for me." Now, the job is, I got this guy that named Mr. Kelso, and his wife hired me because his wife thinks he's cheating on him. So I want you to catch him in the act. Matter of fact, he's going to be at this hotel at such and such time. You take pictures of him. If you do that, I'll be your lawyer to get your girlfriend out. Like, okay, cool. So that's where they go. And some guy named Turd shows up. Turd's just there, you know. So they go to the Blue Swallow Motel to wait for Kelso to show up. And when he shows up, instead of seeing Kelso, they see this black guy in a you know, on a motorbike. But he puts on a wig and he sees Kelso. So Kelso got some extra shit going on right here. You see what's going on. All right. So anyway, they take pictures of, and they take pictures of everything Kelso is doing with whatever. So dude shows up, you know. That's why I gotta say, you know, it's a dude before I get flagged, you know, because of this scene right here. But yeah, he like, "What the hell you doing here?" And then since he finds them taking pictures of him, he beats the shit out of them, you know, start choking him and shit like that. But that's when the police are coming, so they ought to get the hell out of there. So Turd runs off. He gets some good shots in on him. Anyway, to get out of here before the police come. So they go, and anyway, I'm gonna speed this up because basically they just sit there just talking and shit, you know. Oh, and it turns out that the old lady was a judge.
Oh.
And that's the old lady. So yeah, she pulls a gun back on him like, "You can't."
That was shooting. Oh,
that was shooting at. That was a judge shooting at him. Yeah. But in the restaurant they found Burt Reynolds' toupee, so they're gonna sell Burt Reynolds' toupee to get the money to bail the girlfriend out. So anyway, he hits the judge again and runs off because the judge caught him. He's like, "You know, I'm a judge," but they don't believe him anyway. So they go back to Habib to tell him what's going on. But when they get to Abib, apparently Abib gets arrested. Abib gets arrested because he was like doing underground cockfights or some shit, whatever. Anyway, the judge is back at the police station and they arrest Habib. They're like, wait a minute, she shot at me. Like, but she can carry. Florida's an open carry state. You don't have paper, so they arrested you. So he gets arrested, and that's the story. So yeah, that's Florida Man for you. Honestly, Eli, I thought the story was going to be wackier than this. That's what I was thinking, because it's Florida Man. I've seen way crazier stories that is Florida Man than this, but this was still wacky. But I want to go even further. But I guess they got to like set you up before they get crazier. So, you know,
who put this out? Cool. What is this image?
That was saying I enjoyed the story. I was like, because I feel like it's going to get crazier.
It looks really good. Like it looks.
The art is good. The artist is Mike Barron. I think he's done Punisher before.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's done some stuff before. I can't even remember the name of the company, American Mythology, some stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, hey, there's some shit for the comics gators bitching about this.
This is story, yeah.
This is right up their alley. It's cool. Yeah. It sounds cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, you got any more books or?
No, I'm booked out.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, if you listen this long, if you like, share, subscribe. A bunch of stuff is coming this week. Eli, it's gonna be your show next week.
I'm stoked.
You already know. We're not even gonna say it. We're not even gonna say it. We're not gonna say it. But you know, I already know. But I gotta say what I gotta say, because once you get done, don't take up the whole show, because I gotta talk about Evo. Just leave me 5 minutes to talk about Evo.
I can't take a deep dive into everything.
You can deep dive. Just give me 5 minutes. That's all I ask. Just give me 5 minutes. And then you get But if you want to know what we're talking about, tune in next week. We'll let you know what we're talking about. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Me. No girl can freak me, I'm just too nasty. Lost on the dance floors, I attack y'all. Snuck through the back door, guess who they saw? Goldie and Ghost, black African rope, star-studded lowlanders, plus the mural was dope. Airbrush WB, stop.
Shake your body.
And cop a couple of these.
She's a hottie.
Free and Chauncey, very upset.
For what? For what?
They're sick and tired.
One in the head, I'm fed. This is how we do 'em. Put a rough rider on my dick, bust right through 'em. Come out your shirt, insert the party rhyme. Fried Dr. Berserk, Bacardi Lime. With passionate taste to shake your Calvin Klein before the floor gets moist. Case and follow mine. Swallow 9, model dimes from Bahamas. Slim doodle makers stuffed inside pajamas.
They'll take all your rhymes with a Colgate smile. Hey, baby.
Tell a girl.
They'll love you 1 second, then hate you the next. Oh, ain't it crazy, baby? Yeah.
Haters.
Tony's his name. The undefeated champion. Whoa, yeah. Now he's alone. He's just the king of his throne.
Yeah.
Always will be my friend. Ghostface killer.
Truly yours. Peace, boo.
Ghostface killer. Ghostface killer.